Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of What Can We Make Today? So, in front of you, you see a barrier of Vaseline. I am doing this test on a larger scale. I did it a few videos back, more than a few videos, but a while back on little freeform coasters. Today I'm doing it on a much bigger scale. I want to redo the piece of malachite that I made because I'm just not happy with it. So what I did was I took a bunch of Vaseline, pumped it into a bag. Well, I didn't pump it. I scooped it into a piping bag, and then I piped out a big, thick barrier. It is sitting on top of a piece of acetate, which I have to fix before I start. And my hope is once the resin cures, because I know it will cure inside of this barrier, I've already tried on a smaller scale. My hope is it's going to peel off of this piece of acetate I have. If not, my piece of malachite is going to have a neatly trimmed piece of acetate on the back of it. So what I want to do first is just show you the colors, and I also want to show you what they look like mixed in resin. So the first color I have is actually called Malachite, and it is a really, really pretty green color. These are all green. The only color that I'm using that is not green is going to be Gold Leaf again. And I'm going to tell you why I like using this. Because when you mix in spray paint or Mayron, any of the powder ones, you ever notice how they start off real shiny like this, but then they get like a little sandy looking almost? The gold leaf, the liquid gold leaf, actually stays shiny. Like there's no residue look in it. Not that the other ones don't work great, Larez and all those, they do. I'm just saying with this one, it doesn't do that weird texture thing. And you'll know what I'm talking about if you use, like, especially Mayron. You see it a lot. You'll mix it and it looks really shiny at first, then it gets a little dull looking. So I'm using the gold leaf. Next color I'm using is called, sorry, the sticker is still there, Crystal Mint by Dr. Martens. This is the Crystal Mint. I have some Botanical, which is an alcohol ink by Ranger. Sorry, I'm working from behind the tripod and it's not, my arms aren't long enough. Next one is Reflex Green by Amsterdam. Very bright. I needed some darks and some brights. Then I also have Dark Green by FW, Dollar Rowney. That is this one here. And then I have some pretty green glitter from Joann Fabrics that I just mixed in to some clear resin. Hashtag art porn right there. Love that look. So let me fix my canvas and we will get started. Okay, so I reserved a little clear in case I need it. I do that all the time. I'm using Stone Coat, just the regular Stone Coat countertop epoxy, not the art coat. And I'm going to get started. Now I mixed a majority of the resin to be this Botanical color because I need a majority of this piece to be, you know, see-through, so you can see through all the colors and all the special effects and all that. So I'm going to put a nice layer of that down first. And I see I didn't mix it well at the bottom here. Okay. Now I think, let's see. This is the Malachite, the paint, the acrylic paint. So the other one that I made, I just was not happy with that one at all. It just, I kept trying to fix it, and then the lines I put on came out horrible. So I said, you know what, let me just make another piece. At some point, you have to stop wasting resin and just try again. I also noticed when doing these pieces, at first the colors look horrid together, but then they blend somehow and they start to work and turn into something magnificent. And I think it has to do with the alcohol inks because they're, you know, transparent and they glide over the top of the more opaque colors. This is the reflex green, which is going to scream out at us. Look at that. Bam. Now, one con about using Vaseline is the heat gun because it will melt. So I'm going to have to address that when it's time. Now, when this is cured, you could reuse this Vaseline. Just scoop it off this side, which I'm going to show you guys in the end. Just scoop it off of the side and put it back into a bag because it's not going to adhere to the piece of resin itself. Just going to go through and add all my colors. Now the gold I need to be careful with because I don't want a ton of gold. So I'm going to just put a little here and there for now. Okay. I'm going to take some clear and I'm going to plop it in a few places. Okay. So now, because of the problem I have regarding the heat gun, I'm going to use the blow dryer just to move it a little bit. I don't want to heat up that Vaseline. So if you have a project that's going to need a ton of heat, I would not suggest doing this. And I'm actually going to use it on the cool setting. All right. That's it, just to move it a little bit. Now I'm going to add the rest of my colors on. You're going to have a lot of pretty different effects in this when it's done. I will tell you this, the amount of depth that this creates is just astronomical. And I have not forgotten about the glitter. That's going to go in last. for this piece I made 12 ounces of resin. It is approximately 8 by, we'll say 8 by 8. I made 12 ounces because remember, you got to build up. It needs to be a good size thickness. That's going to make it almost a ½ inch thick, I believe. I'll have to measure the ones I have done. I'm kind of just following some of the shapes that I see here in the piece. That's all I'm doing. Once I do that first pattern and blow it around with the blow dryer, then I look for any shapes I see and I just start outlining them. Okay. Let's move it again. Gonna add some clear. All right. And now this will be the last go around of color. So now I want to start planning where my glitter is going to go, which I think I'm going to use, well, let's see if it'll stay in these circles that I created. So it's heavier, so I'm hoping it'll sink down in there. Okay, that's working. So I'm going to attempt to get a little more clear out of here to make a few more of these. Do one over here. So I'm just making round circles by pouring it in one spot and letting it get wider and wider. Okay. I'm going to come back with the glitter and put a little bit in each one that I created. Okay. So now I'm going to let's try the green on top. That's exactly what I wanted. Now, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but it's basically looking like little crystals underneath the surface, and that's what I was aiming for with the glitter. Okay, one more. Just making that one a little bit bigger. Okay, so now I'm going to take the rest of the colors I have and poke them in here somewhere. just want to test something here. Very interesting. All right, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to outline these. And I'm going to swirl them a little bit with the stick. I need to bring some of those brighter colors up here though. Up front. Okay. A little more gold. I wasn't going to add gold, but I'm trying to remember, I think it was Laura Taylor suggested in my last piece that I did that, and I didn't. And the only reason why I didn't do it was because I was afraid. You know how sometimes when you use gold, it speckles, it pops up through your whole piece and kind of ruins it sometimes. Well, that's why I didn't want to use it, but I remembered I had the gold leaf, and the gold leaf usually doesn't do that. So, thank you, Laura Taylor, for the suggestion. If you see this. Okay. So I've gotten rid of all of that. I have a little bit of the clear left that I'm just going to plop in. and kind of swirl it through. Who knows, maybe I'll even put the glitter in there. We'll see. All right. Oh no, I got the Vaseline on the stick. That sucks. Well, be careful if you use Vaseline not to touch the barrier like I just did. Okay, gonna see if I can get a little more clear out. So I've decided, guys, I'm no longer going to do close-ups because what I'm going to do, well, what I'm going to try to do is not post this video until this is cured, popped out, and you can see the final results. Because it could be quite annoying to not see that. And the close-ups inside in the dark house, they aren't the same as when you take it out the next day and, you know, show the true beauty of it, because there is so much going on in this, but you won't be able to see it. So I'm going to end this video. Just stay tuned for the finished result. Hey guys, alright, it's time to take this out and I think I'm going to have a problem. I went to remove a couple of cups that I left on this overnight, and as you can see, or I don't know if you can see that, I hope you can see that, they're stuck. So I'm thinking this is going to be stuck to that piece of acetate, which is going to be a bummer, but let's see what we're dealing with here. First, I have to remove the Vaseline. I'm going to scoop it off to the side so that I can reuse it. Let me tell you something, I got a really nice side on this using the Vaseline. And of course it's going to be a little messy. It is Vaseline after all. But if it saves me some sanding, I will deal with it. Because I hate to sand. This is just a little silicone spatula I'm using to remove it. Nothing fancy. I think I got it in the art department at Hobby Lobby. In the art department. That's all Hobby Lobby is. In the paint area of Hobby Lobby. Now, another thing that I just noticed is my piece is not level. And that is because I did not check to see if my table was level, which I constantly preach about and then I forget to do. So that's a problem, but I have a feeling this whole piece is going to be a problem because it's going to be stuck. So let me just wipe off my finger here. See what I'm dealing with. See, now I've seen other people use acetate, but I'm thinking maybe it's got to be a different type of acetate. Maybe a thinner type. I don't know, maybe it will come off. I don't know. We'll see. I'll tell you what, the sides are beautiful. Very flat. Very, very flat. All right, so let's see here. Oh, it's coming up. Guess what? It's coming off. It came off. Yay! Whoop-de-doo. Now, the front has fingerprints all over it from the Vaseline, so I have to clean it. Let's check the back. Look at the back. How shiny. That is awesome. And now let me show you the sides. Hold on. Look at that side. Perfect. There's a little tiny ridge here. Absolutely flat. It's still very pliable because I just did it last night. Very pretty. So let me clean it up, take it outside, and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I tried to take it outside, but the glare is just too great. These are very, very hard colors to film. So I apologize for that. You're not going to be able to see the depth. You're just going to have to take my word for it. So that is the piece of malachite. I've decided to attach a final image of all 3 pieces that I made side by side finished. So let me show you that now. So here I am outside. I have amethyst, malachite, and the lapis. My favorite is the lapis. You could just really see the depth in this one really good. And I also decided to paint the edges on all of them gold. Don't mind my spray table. Right. So those 2 that I just showed you were with silicone, and then this is the edge using the Vaseline. A lot smoother. So my friends, that ends this little mini series of gemstone slabs. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, whatever floats your boat. Have a great day and happy pouring.